Welcome to a new test and teardown video. This time it's a tiny little mini oscilloscope from Voltcraft. Look how tiny it is. It is so tiny, I of course had to go find a banana for scale. This is crazy. So I just came home from a flea market and it was... Yeah, I found a few things, but this one was probably the coolest. And on top of it, I found this sticker, and that was, of course, why I bought it, because it's, well, okay sticker. How bad can it go, right? But of course, we need to go and open and have a little look before I just plug it in. Look what I found. I went to Radio Museum, and it turns out this oscilloscope is called a Voltcraft 1536. And here is the sales or the advertisement from 1994. And we can see in the bottom right, the price was 2,790 DM. So today, or the same value as 1,426 euros. And of course, back in 1994, that will be quite a lot of money for such a tiny little oscilloscope. Also, we can see the specifications, and that will be from DC to 1 megahertz. And they say that the CRT is a DG7-32. I also found all the schematics for the different circuit boards, op amps and power supplies and everything like that. It's a super simple oscilloscope, not a lot of features or fancy smancy electronics. And here at the back we can of course see, in the good old days, we only had 220 volts in Europe. So today it's a little bit more. And a little warning here. It says if you open this one, you should take out the mains connector. And that is even a German Suko plug. So that is definitely original. And it also say that you can only use this in dry rooms. So of course don't take this outside in the rain. Why? It's necessary to put this information there, I don't know. It is really a cute tiny oscilloscope. I'm really happy that we found this one today. Got a few things that I see in here. Of course, it is very compact designed, and those capacitors actually touch the top lid. So I don't know if I'm super happy about that. That will be deflection, and this will be the horizontal deflection. And the reason I think that is because here is horizontal position, we got trig, we got times 1 and 10. So this is a lot of the stuff here is related to timebase. So timebase is the top board, so that got to be the horizontal deflection. And we also see down here 2 more of those special high impedance wires down here, and that it goes in here somewhere. So, of course, there is a vertical amplifier on the other board. We can't see a lot of what is going on. Oh, look at that. So that board is actually flipped upside down. So that means if I take away the bottom, I'll be able to see what is going on without taking everything to pieces. But there is one tiny little thing I see when I was doing my little first inspection, and that is this capacitor here. It looks like it is leaked. See this little white thingy over here? It got to be leakage, so I better change that one before I power anything up. So here is the bottom. It looks like I should... Now the tube is all the way in to the socket. Oh, there's a little... Look at that. There's a spider and it's actually alive. Tiny, tiny little spider. It's not going to hurt anybody, is it? And here is the vertical amplifier I talked about. This high impedance cable, tiny little mains transformer. It isn't extra shielded or anything like that. I would have expected that. And here is of course the vertical amplifier with a little op amp, a little bit of transistors. That is actually all there is. And we just got those 3 little switches here at the front where it says 0.1, 1 and 10 volts per division, and that is all you can do. AC or DC, okay, focus and position, and the variable times 1 or times 10. That is it. I feel that all potentiometers, they move quite alright, a little bit sticky feeling. So I should just give them a tiny little drop of contact 61 and then they will be nice and fine. So now I'm investigating a little bit more, and of course this is an old oscilloscope, so a lot of people did a lot of service to it, and you can even see some nasty scratch marks down there. So what exactly did they do? And also this capacitor has probably also been changed. Look, if we zoom in here, is this good? I don't think so. I think it was the last second. So that was good luck that I fixed this. If this was not found and fixed, then this acid and stuff here will just spread through everything and just corrode everything to pieces. And all the other capacitors, they don't have this problem. So it's only this particular type here. We can see it's all corroded through it. So I feel I'm ready for the first power up. Let's try and dim everything here. The on-off switch is at the back, so I just think that I did not leave it on. So here we go. Oh, did you hear that? It says click, 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 and there's a short circuit in the high voltage. Let's try again. Try and listen carefully. And then it stopped. This is not so good. So now it's actually working. Cannot be good with this. So how is this variable? Oh, timebase is just like that. And the position, left, right. Focus is also good. Position is... Oh, this is a classic thing. Look at the focus. So if I put it here in the middle. Oh, it is really, really sharp. Maybe we should try and input a little bit. Oh, that is one beautiful picture. I don't think the camera here shows how nice and great this picture is, but I am absolutely happy. So I just input 1 volt, and here is 1 volt per division, and here is the variable. So it's down at times 1, and that means my input should be exactly 1 division. So how about this trigger? Maybe we should make this much higher, and then we should of course, okay, then trigger works. Wow, this is a beautiful, it's a beautiful scope. So here's 1 kilohertz. Can only do, look at that. This is a really, really nice way to save. I mean, you're saving a lot of space here on the front. So we got 3, 110, 100. It can be milliseconds or microseconds. So milliseconds all the way to milliseconds, and then microseconds, dBd2. And then we can of course go 10 again. What a beautiful scope! I'm super excited. Except for the little clickety high voltage kind of thing. Wow, man. What a good score. So if we give it a little bit more brightness, of course we need to adjust a little bit on the focus. There you have it. And it is really nice and sharp and bright. So now let's try and see if we can poke a little bit with this one. Is my little vector plotter. I need to adjust for the amplitude. I don't think there is a, okay, we got position. We haven't got a way to change the sensitivity or the anything like that. So position here is of course good. And here we got variable like that. And there you have it for XY mode. I forgot to show this picture here. I found a scope exactly like this for sale in Germany. So you can go to Kleinanzeigen and buy this unit. Oh, that is so cool. So mine is not the only one. There is still alive of these scopes. So that's fantastic. I think we should have a little bit deeper look at the schematics of this unit. And there are a few really cool things about the way this schematic is drawn. First of all, let's go up in the middle and look at the capacitors for the low voltage system. Can you see the way the lines, they are twisted 45 degrees, and there you have your connection dot to the common ground track. And I really like this way of drawing stuff, because now you know for sure that those 2 tracks from the capacitors, they are definitely connected to the ground track. And you can imagine, you've probably seen schematics old and over photocopied and scanned in low resolutions and all those kinds of things, where you have your doubts. Is it a crossing line, or is there supposed to be a dot? And that is the common practice or problem of some schematics, where you have crossing lines. I should of course input here a little picture of my common recommendations for schematic drawings, but they have just they came up with another solution for this problem. But anyway, we can see in the bottom left you have the high voltage systems. They are of course doubling the voltage, and so it's not running at super high voltage, this tiny little CRT. And there's another little detail. If you look just over the cathode, you have this steering grid for a brightness. This is also the intensity trimmer. And we see a capacitor here. And this capacitor is connected to the blanking system in the sweep board. And this is via a capacitor, so it's just pulsing on and off the intensity, so we don't see the retrack of the sweeps. In the right side, we of course see external X input. There's a little preamplifier, and there you have your little switch where you can put in the sweep or the external X. And in the bottom right, we see the deflection amplifier for the horizontal, of course. It's quite a common setup really for all those tiny little scopes, so there's not a lot to say about that. Here is the schematic for the sweep trick, and again, very simple. A couple of op amps, and all of those op amps, they are, as far as I can see, inside 4-in-1 op amps. So that will be the two larger black ICs that we have seen. We also got a few other ICs, the NAND gates for triggering and re-triggering and all that kind of stuff. And this type of sweep here is just using a little capacitor, and the current from one of the op amps just charges the capacitor real nice and slow in a nice linear ramp, and this is how it's generating its sweep. So it's quite simple, this system. Here is the vertical amplifier, and again, I really like how simple it is. And if you are a little bit confused about, we only see 2 switches for the 1 volt or 10 volt division. That is because if both of them are not activated, there you have the 0.1 volt per division. And that is actually how it works. There are only 2 switches, and the third is it looks like, for the user's perspective, that they actually activates a third option, but that's not what they do. It actually just releases both of the 2 other attenuators. So that is how it looks. You should, of course, just zoom back in the video to the point where I show those switches, and then you can easily see the third one just releases the other 2. And of course, AC/DC input, that's just a serious capacitor, nothing fancy there. And there you have a little field effect transistor and an op amp, some more transistors, and to the most right, we have, of course, the deflection amplifier directly driving the CRT with the 200 volts maximum, and it is should be about half of that the DC voltage you measure at these 2 points. So again, very simple circuit, not that many components. This is a tiny little board, really. So now it's completely dark in here, and I can much better photo the nice brightness of the screen. For some reason, this camera just finds its funny ways with different brightnesses and all that kind of stuff. But it is just really different in reality. And I don't understand exactly what's going on, but it is super bright and nice and in focus and all that. And if I put a little bit of light on it, like that, now the camera really don't pick up the nice green line, but I can easily see this line in reality. So what the heck is that? But anyway, I think this is all I wanted to show about this really nice and cute little scope here. Look at that. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.